Niccolò Machiavelli, born on 3 May 1469 in Florence, was a philosopher, historian, poet, diplomat and musician from the Florentine origin of the Renaissance. He is recognized as a founder of thought and of modern political science by the fact having written about the state and the government how they really are and not how they should be. Today I bring you 100 quotes and phrases by Machiavelli. Prudent men know how to profit by all their actions, even those to which they are compelled by necessity. We become hated both by doing good and by doing evil. Men are so simple and so obedient to present needs that it is easy to always find someone who is deceived. The first method of estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men around him. Fair indeed, war, when necessary, and pious, arms, when hope alone is to be found. Everything degenerates, succeeds, and fatally repeats itself. How dangerous it is to free a people who prefer slavery. Men offend out of fear or out of hatred. Disorder should never be allowed to happen to avoid war, for it is inevitable, but being delayed results in your disadvantage. When a man is good, a friend also has good friends. Prudent men always know how to take advantage of acts to which necessity has constrained them. Entrepreneurs are those who understand that there is little difference between obstacles and opportunities and are able to turn both to their advantage. A corrupted people who achieve freedom find it more difficult to keep it. Kill if you have to, but reach your goal. A wise prince should observe similar manners and never, in peacetime, be anxious. Men forget the death of their own father more quickly than the loss of property. The closer a man is to a desire, the more he desires it, and if he cannot fulfill it, the greater pain he feels. Good is done little by little and undone suddenly. Even well-ordered laws are utterly impotent in the face of customs, whereby it is seen that men are either enticed or annihilated. I want to go to hell, not heaven. In hell I will enjoy the company of popes, kings and princes. In heaven I will only have the company of beggars, monks, hermits, and apostles. Insofar as the legitimate sovereign has less need to offend his subjects, it is natural for him to be more liked, and if he has no extraordinary defects that make him hated, it is perfectly natural for the people to love him. Not even the best clue can be had about a man than the company he frequents. He who has decent and honest companions earns a deservedly good name, because it is impossible for him not to have some resemblance to them. Nothing makes a man die so contented as waking up that he never offended anyone, but rather benefited everyone. In politics, today's allies are tomorrow's enemies. You never have to win by force what can be won by deceit. Nothing great has ever been achieved without danger. I believe that luck is half of our actions, but that it allows us to control the other half. The real great man is always the same under all circumstances. There is nothing more certain than our own mistakes. It's better to do and regret it than not to do it and regret it. Power to a man is to find out who he is. There is no other way to guard against flattery than to make men understand that telling the truth will not offend you. Man is evil by nature unless he needs to be good. To say what will happen is to understand that it has already happened. Mediocrity and anonymity are the best choice. Men hesitate less to offend those who make themselves loved than to offend those who make themselves feared, because love is maintained by a bond of obligation, and because men are perfidious, it is broken on any occasion for their own benefit, but the fear is maintained by a never-abandoning fear of punishment. Ambition is a passion so imperious in the human heart that even when we rise to the highest positions, we are never satisfied. There are 3 kinds of brains. Some understand by themselves, others discern what the first understand, and the third understand neither by themselves nor by others. The first are excellent, the second excellent, and the third completely useless. That excessive trust does not make you naive, and that exaggerated distrust does not make you intolerable. There's nothing so hopeless as not having a new reason to hope. Every action is designed in terms of the end it seeks to attain. To know the character of the people, it is necessary to be a prince, and to know the character of the prince, it is necessary to belong to the people. The prudent prince will therefore adopt a third course, choosing wise men as his advisers, and giving them full liberty to speak the truth, but only when questioned and only about what is asked of them. The prince will seek his opinion on everything, then deliberate alone or in his own way. Do not depart from the good, but when necessary, know how to use the bad. It's easy to persuade people of something, difficult to maintain that persuasion. Men in general form their opinions guided by sight rather than by touch, because they know how to see more, but few know how to feel. Nature makes few people strong, but effort and training make many. Those who say that bad company leads men to the gallows are telling the truth. Why is it granted to all to see, but few to whom it is given to perceive? All see what you appear to be, few perceive what you are. I would never want to fall because I thought I would find someone to get up. A wound should be made so grievous that your revenge need not be feared. It is not the intention that validates an act, but its result. Whoever deprives himself of pleasure and lives among the torments and fatigues of the world does not know deceit. Nothing is more difficult to execute, more doubtful of success, more dangerous to handle than starting a new order. Ghosts are more frightening from afar than up close. Man's ambition is so great that, to satisfy a present desire, he does not think of the evil that sometime may result. You will show no mercy before your enemies, and when they turn against you, silence Zion before your greatness of soul. The man who tries to be good all the time is doomed to ruin among countless others who are not good. Luck is more won by the audacious than by the prudent. All the beloved prophets won, and the unarmed were destroyed. You will not be sure of yourself with other people's weapons. Other people's weapons either escape your control or embarrass you. Those who win, no matter how they win, never conquer shame. To govern is to make believe. Hatred is the product of both good and evil actions. War is waged when you want to agree on terms when you can. Injuries must be done all at once, so that, by savoring the least, they offend less, and benefits must be done little by little, in order that they may be better savored. On the part of the conspirator, there is no fear, envy, and suspicion of the punishment that torments him. It is not the violence that restores, but the violence that ruins that must be condemned. People are meant to be petted or crushed. If you do them good, they'll take revenge, but if you use and mistreat them, there's nothing they can do. An effective ruler should show no mercy. It is a vice common to all men not to care for the storm in the future, for the calm. A change always leaves ground for a new change. If you must hurt someone, do it in such a way that you don't have to fear revenge. Whoever is the cause of anyone becoming powerful, disgrace himself, for that power is produced by his even ingenuity, which is strength, and both are suspect to him who has risen to the position of power. Good laws are of no use if there are no good weapons. One of the essential principles of wisdom is to refrain from verbal threats or insults. Where willpower is great, difficulties cannot be. It is necessary for a prince to have the people as a friend, otherwise he will not have possibilities. In adversity, politics has at least two faces, the one that is exposed to the public eye and the one that transits behind the scenes of power. You should advise only when you want it, not when others want it. You should discourage everyone from giving you advice if not asked for. It is safer to be feared than loved. All well-governed states and all intelligent princes have been careful not to reduce the nobility to despair, nor the people to discontent. The prince will never lack legitimate reasons to break the law in times of peace. We must think of war as a prince needing to know how to use animal good. He must take the fox and the lion as an example, because the lion is not capable of defending himself against traps, just as the fox does not know how to defend himself against wolves. Therefore, be a fox to know the traps and lion to scare the wolves. Whoever is unarmed becomes contemptible. Freedom consumes itself, for its strength is soon gone. Whoever becomes lord of a city accustomed to living in freedom does not destroy it, wait to be destroyed by it. Whoever is elected by the people must remain their friend. What depends on me usually does not succeed. Men are driven by two main impulses, either love or fear. First of all, be armed. It's not titles that illustrate men, it's men that illustrate titles. There is such a great gap between how one acts and how one should act that he who despises the real world to live in an imaginary world will find his ruin rather than his salvation. There is nothing more difficult or dangerous than taking the lead in introducing a change. Men offend those they love more than those they fear. All war that is necessary is just. Time throws before all things and can turn good into evil and evil into good. To punish, use others; to praise, show up. All beings, from the moment they are born, are destined to obey and others to command.